Yeah, what up? It's your dude Tank Lip. This sort of a continuation from my every passing moment is a chance to turn it all around blog, but it's also like a segue into some other shit too. You know, I got on the new fresh shirt and shit. You know, this morning I blogged, you know, I had that blue polo shit on, you know, now I got my long sleeves and shit, you know, tricks up the sleeve, you know, type shit. You know, I usually, if I'm gonna do like a 2-part blog, you know, I try to keep the same shirt on and shit. You know, it's kind of like, you know, sticking with the same theme, same shirt, you know, so it's only proper since we doing a segue also into some other shit, you know, I'm gonna wear another shirt. But don't get it twisted, it's the same, you know, genuine, authentic, you know, Tank Lip shit, you know, truth, basically. You know, there's no match for that. Truth lights itself. It don't need no match. So, with that wisdom and knowledge said, let me go into some shit. So, what's the deal, y'all? You know, a lot of people knocking my hustle. A lot of people admire my hustle. And, you know, they all for it. They support the Tank Lip movement, what I'm about, what I'm speaking, kind of music I'm putting out. And much love to y'all. And to the haters, much love to you too. Because if you hating, you're missing a bigger picture that actually has good foundations and stands for something good. Now, for most of my life, or at least most of my mature life, where like at least I think before I speak, okay? You know, I try to be careful to reserve, you know, judgment upon others, because everyone's situation is different, and you know, different things for different folks, and you know, some people in deeper hells than others. And you know, to survive, it takes sometimes different things. And I understand, like, I have forgiveness for certain people's situations. Like, that man that steals, or maybe he's selling some drugs and making money off fucking someone else up, you know, and preying on people's weaknesses, and then those animal behaviors of those people, you know, they get, you know, they succumb to addiction, and then, you know, worse gets worse. Like, not only did they get preyed on, but then, whatever that was, you know, becomes worse because addiction is progressive. So it's like vultures feeding on vultures type shit. And it angers me. I don't co-sign or support, like, illegal things. I think there's rules and laws, you know, for a reason. You know, commandments, like one of those first foundations and sets of, like, laws and rules, like, for humanity, like, they're there for a reason. Like, everything has a reason, you know. And, you know, you break a law or a rule, you're probably also going against some commandments. And yeah, man has free will, but I believe God and other higher powers probably have those things set in order, because they know the negative consequences and bad and evil that can come if you don't adhere to certain wise principles that great beings had either designed or learned for themselves, and they were trying to teach, like, the next generations and shit. And so, you know, I feel like my life has been a gift and a curse. Like, I feel like I possess many talents and skills, and, like, you know, I believe, you should be thankful for the good and not pay as much attention to the bad. But I've also had to deal with a lot of difficult challenges too. So, you know, my life has like various poles, and there's a lot of north and south poles and shit in my life. Like, I can certainly recognize like the good, and as an intelligent person, I recognize some of the unfortunate things. However, as someone that recognizes like to be thankful for what you do have, I also realize that those bad things or difficulty or challenges can also be used to bring good, to make you a better person, because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay, so if you go through something that is difficult, that even speaks to your strength more than the things you go through that are easier for you. So, again, I reserve judgment most of the time, at least as a mature adult. I try not to judge or shun other people or push them away or attack them for what I believe are probably bad and negative, evil things that they're succumbing to. Now, I don't co-sign people killing other people stealing from other people doing illegal activities, selling drugs. Like, I don't really admire or support a gangster. In my younger, immature years, I thought the bravado of such, like a mafia type bravado, like if you're from the Italian mob, I was like, you know, I was starstruck in a way by that. Like, you know, it just had a bravado that, and a lure. And I don't want to glorify, those things are glorified in movies and media, and then also in real realms and reality in life. And, you know, as an ignorant or less intelligent person as a child, you know, those things were glorified to me in various relations and relationships, whether it was something I saw or even people I knew that also glorified those types of lives. As an adult, I can honestly tell you, I still try to reserve judgment, but I don't really co-sign and endorse like a gangster or a thug. Like, at least that's not what I'm about. So I'm smart enough to realize, like, I'm gonna do me, and those things are not gonna change no matter how much I would try to preach that people do something different. Those entities have been around longer than I was born. So, you know, I'm smart enough to believe I can't force my will upon those entities to, you know, invoke or provoke change on those matters. But while I reserve judgment for judging those things, again, I don't really support it. And I find it interesting, again, while there's a lot of people supporting Tank Lip movement, there are people knocking my hustle, like saying I'm too thirsty, you know, or too hungry, and going about things the wrong way and the wrong methods. And it's like, do you realize probably 80%, I mean, I couldn't say this is exactly an accurate number or percentage, but how many of y'all would agree that 80% of these industry, the elites, the top MCs or rappers in hip hop that have made it and are getting millions of views and millions of dollars, the ones that you could say they made it, they had their moment of shine, stardom, success, whether it's one hit album or several, you know, 5 albums, whatever, like the big names, 80% of them got there, you know, on a route that they even admit themselves was a hustle, doing things where they broke the law. And then somehow they're forgiven because they're doing something else. And it makes me raise the question, like, you know, in my first part of the blog, I was talking about, does it really matter what path you take or fork in the road as long as you get to that destination? I start second guessing myself. Maybe I don't respect as much a person that reaches a destination that I would desire for myself, but I think they did it the wrong way. And with that said, I can kind of understand people that are knocking my hustle, that don't like my methods or the way I'm trying to reach my destination. They don't respect me. But that's from their principle codes and their value code and moral codes. And I just want to raise the question out there for y'all. Like, I'm not a person that cosigns or supports or endorses a thug life, or gangsters that basically represent people that are outlaws, breaking laws to get somewhere, where they sacrifice and hurt other people for their own gains. Like, I am not doing that. Tank Lip does not go out killing people.